So there I was. I was 13 years old. I was attending Edinburgh Youth Camp for the summer, and I went there every year since I was 6 years old, passing through until I was about 19. But this year was special. There was something very special about this year. Um, I went, and the speaker, I don't remember his name, but I remember that he was talking a lot about Alexander the Great. He was talking about his life and relating his life and how he risked and how he led to what it looks like when we allow God to lead and when we risk. And it was just a phenomenal experience. I remember about the third night, I believe it was on a Tuesday night, we were gathered around singing praise to God and worshiping. And in the midst of our worship, God just came and He was in that place in such a powerful, powerful way. His Spirit descended on us. And before long, the entire room was out of their chairs at the front, at the altar, weeping, repenting, recommitting their lives to Jesus, thinking how their entire lives have been and who God was to them. And I remember being there, and I remember going forward, and I remember being at the altar and repenting at the altar and weeping for a long time. I ended up being in that place for about 2 hours as the manifest presence of God entered the room, and as He just lavished His love and showered it over me, over and over and over. And at the end of the time in that place and in that room, I remember having my eyes closed, and I remember laying face first at the altar, and I remember that God just began to wipe these images across my mind, pictures of faces, really, and I remember seeing face after face after face, and I remember that God was very gentle and very kind to me. And in the midst of everything, after all these faces passed through my mind, and after all of them passed through my heart, I heard in my heart, in my spirit, the Spirit of God communicating with my spirit. I heard God saying to me, "They have never known my love like this." And it was at that moment that I realized that God was placing a call on my life to work and operate in full-time ministry, and that I knew from that moment that I didn't want anyone that I know, anyone that I knew, anyone that I would meet, anyone that my life would affect, that they wouldn't be able to experience the love of God like this. And that's kind of where it all began.